So the usual question for those of you who come regularly, if any of you have not spoken earlier as to what makes you motivated to come regularly, you can feel free to speak up. So, Satyapal Kheraji, if you have not spoken before, or Chandrakant Mehta, any of you, you are welcome to speak.
Yes, this is Satyapal Khera. Hello?
Yes, we hear you. What motivates you to join us so frequently?
Well, I joined last year, about a year ago, maybe 13 months ago. And the big thing that I like is regularity. Every day at 5:30, and I have attended a couple of sessions in the morning also. But this is the best. But I come every day, not every day. I don't come Wednesday because I'm attending a meditation session that I have been attending for more than 2-3 years. So I continue with that. There were other sessions that I attended, but they were just once a week. So here it is best thing every day. And a couple of other things, I learned new things here. Kapalbhati, different than what I was doing. Ujjayi, I learned differently that previously I was doing. Similarly, Bhastrika, that also I was doing differently. And I found that Swami Mukundanand also shows the same way Bhastrika to be done. In addition, I have learned new things like chakra vibration, respiratory mantra, neck exercises, circulatory mantra, and I had some problem with my left hand and left foot. There was tingling in there. So I consulted a neurologist. She sent me to a physical therapist, and the exercises that person gave me, I synchronized that with the breath after I learned the same thing from this session. So this is big thing again to that me. And this is the main reason. And
So you find improvement?
Pardon me?
You find improvement in your hand?
Yes, I find improvement in my hand. And in fact, I was doing different thing in the morning previously. A long time ago, I was doing this in the evening, my pranayam and a little bit of exercises. Then I changed it to the morning. And after I learned from you, I added some other things in my pranayam. I was doing this chakra vibration. I got guidance from Carol Tuttle, but that was only some phrases and circulating your hand over the area where the chakra is. But with you, I learned something new, so I stopped that one, and I'm working as with that given by you as that way. And in addition, after I started morning sessions, I learned few things from your morning session also, and then in March, I went to this physical therapist, but in April, end of March or early April, you showed us exercises for the elbows and arms. So I added that. That also helped very much with my this tingling. And I do that every day in the morning and evening. And in addition, this cycling exercise, that also I do in the morning and evening. And in the morning, I have added Bhastrika and some the, spinal mantra that I added in the morning. I do that every day now.
See, for your hand related left hand, you said, right?
Yes, left hand.
Yeah, for your hand related problem, simply inhaling, lifting up the shoulders, exhaling, rotated back. Like this, if you do 20 times, 5 times a day, you will get quicker relief for your hand. Your
Mm.
problem emanates from the central nervous system, the spine.
Yes.
And once that is taken care of, this will flow even more easily. The hand exercises are good, but this is very important to do.
Okay. What about this shoulder exercise like that? Is that similar to what you're telling me?
No, the shoulder exercise you're doing forward is not as helpful as doing it backward.
No, shoulder forward, I do about 10 or 12, but the remaining up to 40, like 28, 25, 28, I do backwards.
Okay. The backward is the one which will have more impact for you. But when you do it, it's not that exercise. It is lifting up of the whole spine that is
Okay.
important. So when you inhale, lift up, you feel the lifting up right from the hip, and exhale, rotate slowly. That is what will give you the benefit.
Okay. Another thing I have is this tinnitus in my left ear. And I was just watching around various blogs, and I found one person saying that if you pull your ears and massage the ears like that, that may reduce the intensity. I do feel that that's possible. And I have slightly less intensity, but it doesn't go away completely. It comes back in the morning, sometime in the after maybe 12 o'clock, it will go away for a couple of hours, then comes back again.
Well, you see, we can test and see whether that is the case. If you want to come any Sunday, then in which case we can test to see what might work for that.
All right. Where do I come on Sunday?
Actually, we are in Silver Spring,
Okay.
near the crossing of Randolph Road and Route 29.
Okay. All right. That's the address I have for you.
No, the address you have is my home address.
Yeah.
The place where we meet on Sunday is 1220 Plum Orchard Drive in Silver Spring, zip code 20904. Avni Preswala will guide you whenever you want to come. She keeps track of all the appointments.
Okay. You said Plum Orchard Road, right?
Yes, Plum Orchard Drive.
Drive. Okay.
So
1220.
now, from the perspective of, do you feel more vitality, or have you had any physical elements that have subsided? You're using less medication or anything like that that has happened?
Medication, I use only one that I'm using for almost 35, 40 years. That I had a problem with my hiatal hernia. And for that, I have been using that medication. I'm not using anything else. A couple of times, my cardiologist said he wants to prescribe medication for blood pressure, and he also advised me to take aspirin. I said, no, I don't want to take any of those things. They cause more problem than healing. And for similarly for blood pressure, whenever I go to his office, it was a little higher than what I have at my home. So I told him, no, I don't want any medication. And he said, all right, let us test a couple of months. So after that, whenever I do this neck exercise, I was doing Shitali, Shitkari, and that Chandrabhedi pranayam. So with those also reduce the whole blood pressure.
Yes.
So now when I go to him, I tell him, take the measurement after 10 minutes. And it's always under 40, 140, sometimes 127, 137, something like that. So he's happy with that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. So we will continue with our chakra vibrations. Bring your awareness to the perineum, and pressing on the little finger, we do Lam. Take a deep breath in. Lam. 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 Ram. Release your fingers and continue. Lam. Bring your awareness 1 inch above the perineum. There we do Vam, pressing on the ring finger with the thumb. Vam. 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 Release the fingers and continue. Behind the navel, we do Ram, pressing on the middle finger with the thumb. Ram. 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 Release the fingers, continue. Ram. Bring your awareness to the middle of the chest in between the breasts, and here we do Yam, pressing on the index finger with the thumb. Yam. Yum. 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 Release the fingers and continue. Yum. Bring the awareness to the throat, and here we do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Hum. 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 Release the hand and continue. One last time. Middle of the head is chum. Thumbs up with a loose fist. Chum. Release the fingers and continue. Now, release the fingers and continue. Top of the head, we do Om, thumbs up, loose fist. Release the hand, continue. Last time. Now, we are ready to go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama, the happy face breathing.
Dr.
And
Rajan, we cannot see you.
that's because you are talking.
I'm not
And
talking.
when you talk, you become visible. Everybody else goes away.
No, I don't talk to anybody. No.
All right, I've pinned him, so now only he should be visible.
Okay. So now, As we go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama, happy face breathing, those of you who know how to do it, please carry on. And for those of you who need instruction, I'll go in a moment. But those of you who are doing it, you can, if every 5 to 10 breaths, you can consider holding the breath. Now, I saw Deepak Kaul over here some time ago, and hopefully you're still here. Oh,
I'm
yes,
right
you're
here.
here. Yeah. You had asked a question about why yawning occurs frequently some time back.
Yes.
So I went and did some research to understand that.
Yes.
And the answer is that it is a way whereby the body regulates the temperature within. The body's temperature mechanism is essentially twofold. Actually, it's threefold. How much of energy it produces in the body. If it produces less energy, it is producing less heat. Now, given whatever it is producing, to manage energy, it is in breath, it is cooling, and the other part is sweating. So what happens is, when you are ready to fall asleep, or when you feel ready to, the body's internal mechanism begins quietening down, like when you start relaxing within, then in which case the accumulated heat that has been created by the earlier heating in the body, they need to be released. The first mechanism is this yawning. The secondary mechanism is sweating. That only happens when the yawning is not taking care of everything. So any case,
Thank
yeah, and usually accompanied with yawning, at that time also your metabolic rate, heart rate, everything is going down a little bit. Even the breath rate may be going less.
you.
So that's the reason for the yawning. So let's continue with your Ujjayi Pranaya. So those of you who need instruction, you can bring your awareness to the lowermost part of the mouth, and focusing there, you can make a big smile, and you will find a slight stretch over there. Focusing on the stretch in the bottommost part of the mouth, inhale and exhale and feel like a sucking sensation there. And when you exhale, it will feel like a reverse sucking sensation. Carry on. Is there anybody new today who, in which case, our instructions might have been too short for you?
Yes, I need instructions, Mr. Rajan.
Okay, okay. So we probably lost you on the chakra vibrations, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now it's too late. But for the Ujjayi Pranayam, tomorrow I will make it a little more detailed. For the Ujjayi Pranayam, are you able to do it? Put your video on, then I can tell you whether you're doing it right. Okay, continue doing. Feel a sucking sensation in your throat. And the only way to feel it comfortably is if you make a big smile, you feel the slight stretch in the throat. And you should not put too much effort. The effort should be so mild with the focus in the throat that you can feel it'll make you feel meditative. You're doing it fine. Carry on. Now let's go on to the respiratory mantra. Bring your awareness behind the sternum in the middle of the body and feel a rising vibration going through the middle of the body and out of the top of the head. The rising vibration feels like 3 syllables, Haim, Im, So feel the flow, Haim, Im, like that. It is only a visualization. It has got nothing to do with audible chanting or anything like that. Just you mentally visualize Haim, Im, mentally. No correlation with the breath. So breath is unconscious breathing, just like you do most of the day when you're not even aware that you're breathing. So only focus on the visualization. Now let's go on to the circulation mantra. Feel your awareness or bring your awareness to the lungs and mentally vibrate Haim. So lungs, chest area is where we focus. Now let's go on to our spine alignment exercises. Those of you who wish to bring your hands behind your back and hold your elbows, you can do that. If you do that as you inhale, pull back your shoulders and expand the chest as we do all the other exercises. So now, as you exhale, gently tilt your head and bring one ear towards the shoulder. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, tilt the other way and go towards the other shoulder, and continue. Inhale, and with each exhalation, tilt to either one of the sides. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, turn the head and look over one shoulder. Inhale, come back. Exhale, rotate the other way and look over the other shoulder. Inhale, come back and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. With the next inhalation, lift up the chin and take the head back. And as you exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest and continue. Last inhalation. And last exhalation, chin down to the chest. And now we go 360 degrees around the neck. Inhale, half a circle. And exhale, complete the circle. And continue. Last inhalation. And last exhalation. And let's go in the reverse direction. Last inhalation. And last exhalation. And now we go to the shoulder exercise. Inhale, lift up one shoulder. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. And continue. Inhale, lift up the other shoulder. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now, let's stretch out the hands in front of you. Inhale, lift up the palms, stretch out the fingers. Exhale, thumb in and make a downward facing fist. Continue. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, down. Inhale, continue. Now let's go around the wrist. Inhale and exhale. Rotate around. Now last exhalation, let's go reverse. Last exhalation, inhale and exhale. Elbows in line with the shoulders and hands in a loose fist below the chin. Inhale, go around the wrist, open out the palms. Exhale, close and make the fist again and continue. Last inhale and last exhale, and let's go reverse. Last inhale and last exhale. Interlock the fingers. Bring it behind the head. And as you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale the other way. Inhale, come back. Try to keep the elbows in 180 degrees. Don't let the elbows come forward. Keep it straight. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Continue. Last exhale, inhale, come back. Now get hold of the elbows behind the back. As you exhale, pull on one elbow. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, pull on the other elbow. Inhale, come back up, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, release, and bring your hands behind the back. Get hold of your elbows. Take a deep breath in, pull back the shoulders, and as you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back. Continue. Satyaji, what you're doing is fine. No problem. Last exhalation, pull. Inhale, come back. Now get hold of your hips behind your back. And as we inhale, we push on one hand and make a backward arch. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, push on the other hand and make a backward arch. And exhale, come forward. Continue. Last inhalation. And last exhalation. Now we cross one leg over the other and get hold of the knee that is on the top. And as you exhale, pull the knee and cross it over to the opposite shoulder as you turn the head the other way. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Let's cross the other leg over. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Now we will do the shoulder, both shoulders lifting together. Inhale, lift up both the shoulders. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. And as you inhale and lift both the shoulders, lift up your hips too. And exhale, bring it back and come down. Feel the full stretching of the spine. As you inhale, come up, and exhale, you relax. And as you inhale, feel the awareness of the breath go to the middle of the head. And as you exhale, feel the awareness coming downward towards the feet. Inhale up and exhale down. Continue. Last inhalation. And last exhalation. And just examine the breath in your two nostrils. For most of you, it should be equal on both the nostrils. If they are not equal, then what you do is, whichever nostril that has less breath, inhale from that nostril and exhale from the other nostril. Do that same thing, just 2 breaths or 3 breaths, and you will find the breath will become normalized in both the nostrils. And then we are ready to go on to the spinal mantra. And so today we will do the fast version. We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jaim, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jaim, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck, to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jam I'm 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 Om. Now we go on to our Bhastrika Pranayam. So the first round we'll begin As usual, we begin with exhalation. And when we exhale, we visualize compression in the sternum, throat, and the head, as if there is a pressure going out. And when we inhale, we feel like a fullness in the sternum. So we do that with that visualization. So let's begin. Exhale, feel the compression. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 30, exhale. 40, exhale. 50, exhale. 60, exhale. 70, exhale. 80, exhale. 9, exhale. And 20, exhale. Bring down the hands, keep the eyes closed. Take a deep breath from the right nostril, hold the breath and exhale through the left nostril. Keep the awareness within. Let's go on to the second round. Exhale, feel the compression. Inhale, begin. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Take one deep inhalation through the right nostril, hold the breath, exhale through the left nostril, and then relax. Let's go on to the third round. Exhale. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 18. Exhale. 19. Exhale. 20. Exhale. 21. Exhale. 22. Exhale. 23. Exhale. 24. Exhale. 25. Exhale. 26. Exhale. 27. Exhale. 28. Exhale. 29. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 31. Exhale. 32. Exhale. 33. Exhale. 34. Exhale. 35. Exhale. 36. Exhale. 37. Exhale. 38. Exhale. 39. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 41. Exhale. 42. Exhale. 43. Exhale. 44. Exhale. 45. Exhale. 46. Exhale. 47. Exhale. 48. Exhale. 49. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 51. Exhale. 52. Exhale. 53. Exhale. 54. Exhale. 55. Exhale. 56. Exhale. 57. Excellent. Lab. exhale. 12, exhale. 30, exhale. 40, exhale. 50, exhale. 60, exhale. 70, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 20, exhale. Take one deep breath in through the right nostril, hold and exhale through the left and relax. Now mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. We are getting ready for meditation. Feel the shoulders lighten up as you tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. If you have a personal mantra, focus on it. If you don't have a personal mantra, feel a rising vibration from the middle of the chest going out of the top of the head. And that rising vibration sounds like Haim Em Om. It is a modification of the respiratory mantra. Haim Em Om. Feel that go to the top of the head. And we will have Om playing in the background. Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. Become aware of the senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. Realize that this body is only an instrument. And when everything quiets down, you become a pure observer of whatever the body is doing. And then you become aware of the role of the mind and our cosmic connection, the intuition that comes within. Whenever you're ready to open your eyes, raise your hands and look straight into the palm of your hands. And with that, we end the meditation. So today being Sunday, we have half hour of discussion time. I will keep it as a little shorter if you would like. Today is the Janmashtami, Krishna Janmashtami. And so some of you may be observing or doing something related to that. And usually the Janmashtami puja and things are done in the evening hours. And so if there are any questions, you can ask me. There are two questions that are already.
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
When I do this chakra, I do not know at what stage, but I do get pressure in my ear as if water is going to come out. And that pressure remains whole day in a lesser mode, but it does have the pressure. Is it common or is it something I'm developing so that I can I'll go to refer to a practitioner?
No, actually, it is common for a lot of people to have that, but you tell me you're having it the whole day. That is a little bit more uncommon. Most of us, like me, everyone, will feel if the vibrations are resonating well, you will feel the popping of the ears, the feeling. It's like the popping that you feel when you have compression, decompression going when you're flying in an airplane and you come out of it, that kind of thing, right?
More or less that type. But the thing is, there is nothing coming out of my ear.
I understand.
I and
You understand, correct?
I am uncomfortable.
While you're
so
doing it, okay, I understand. While you're doing it, we are feeling uncomfortable, but the rest of the day, is it uncomfortable?
Yeah, it is uncomfortable.
Okay. Then you may want to get checked out, but the sensation of feeling the resonation in the ears and feeling sometimes, moisture coming out or whatever is other people also feel. So it is not something of concern. But what you're saying is, but that kind of a sensation may last for a few minutes, but you say it lasts the whole day. That is something that is unusual.
Okay. Then there is a second technical question which I want to ask.
Go ahead.
And that is, we do all this chakra and everything. What range of frequency are we looking really into, and whether anybody has made a, what you call, scientific study as to the effect of the various frequencies which you are mentioning is affecting?
Yeah. The answer is no. I'm not aware of any scientific studies that have been done. I mentioned last time about Royal Raymond Rife, who had, done experiments on how different frequencies impact different organisms, particularly bacteria, viruses, and things like that. And so, again, as I said, from these 7 vibrations, I'm not aware of any research that has been done. We have an interest in doing that research, where I made an initial contact with one of our board members who has the ability to do that, to see how the vibrations affect gene expression. And of course, we wanted to select candidates who would give the most amount of impact, so we can actually, there is more measurement, more ability to measure changes, and that is for people who have sweating in their palms. So far the person has not taken the initiative, and I may ask somebody else to do that if he doesn't do it, and that if he doesn't begin the process in the next month or so. Anyway, so
if there is somebody who is willing to, I'm willing to become a scapegoat. And
no, no,
see-
no. We don't want you to be the scapegoat. I will select who I want, and you don't qualify. Okay. And okay, but there are a lot of hands up. So Manjula Kumar, ask your question. I won't answer questions now. I'll take all the questions now. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Narayan, for everything. I feel so wonderful after these sessions. But my question is taking on from the chakra vibrations. Of course, it energizes me. I just feel very good. But every time you say the mantra, do you concentrate as a chakra on the point that we're trying to? And is it beneficial to really hold it for a long time and then go, or do more often?
Okay. My instruction when we do the chakra vibration is to focus on each point, right?
Do you do like a chakra over there? Like if it's at the middle of the head, do you?
You don't need to. You don't need to do that. If it's meant to happen, it will take care of itself.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. So now Suresh Purohit had a question. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. I'm muting everyone because if too many people unmute at the same time, there is feedback noise coming.
Dr. Rajner, I have a question about spinal mantras. If you have pain in certain areas, you do only partial mantra on that and concentrate on that one, or you have to do whole 7 mantras together?
Okay. If you have a need to concentrate on one, you can concentrate with multiple repetitions in one of the chakras, but you have to do all the 7 together. Otherwise, the imbalance can happen.
Okay.
So you
Because I have
do,
lower,
yeah, you do a couple of,
pain.
yeah, you do a couple of times, 2, 3, in all the chakras, but in one chakra, you can do 10 times, 20 times, whatever you want, but you do it in sequence from the lower chakra to the top of the head.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now we go here. I have a number of questions that have things that have come in here in the chat box. So first I'm going to go to the easy ones. So Lalita Trehan writes over here that when you do fast chakra mantra, it's hard to visualize the regions. Can we adhere to the slow one? I have to say chakra vibra mantras, we only do it slowly. I think she is referring to the spinal mantra that we do, Aim Shim Jim Jam Hai Mai Mom. How many people only want to stay with the slow one? Can I have a show of hands? Okay, how many people like the fast one? Okay, so I can see we are split where probably I would say that a smaller number of people, about 1/3 of the people would like the fast one, others the slow one. I try to rotate between the two, fast and slow. So whichever way it happens, it happens. Okay, we'll see how it works out. Okay, now I'm going to go first to the question related to the chakras, what they mean and things like that. That is Dalpat Patel has asked the question. And the second one is about what Tammy Bonin has asked. But before I go there, Deepak, you have a question. Please unmute yourself and speak up.
Yes, sir. I sent you an email about, the Rife machine and all that, some bioenergetics.
Yes, I remember.
Okay, fine. That's all I really want. I just wanted to-
Actually, I haven't had time to follow up, but I will follow up.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. So now the two questions that have been asked is one, what is the meaning of this chakra, Kundalini awakening, and all of these things? That is what Dalpat Patel has asked. And the second question is about the role of the brain and the immune system, that kind of question that Tammy Bonin has asked. So we'll first deal with the chakra question. This business about Kundalini awakening comes from an incomplete yoga system. Okay? It is basically the Kundalini yoga system is an incomplete yoga system. So when people say Kundalini has awakened and all of this is all nonsense. Okay? There is no relevance or meaning to it. The thing that happens is when people start feeling about these strange experiences, they will feel like there is pain and there is movement in the body and things like that. All that relate to imbalances in the body during the purification process of the nadis. As the nadis are purifying, if there are blockages anywhere, the energy starts moving sideways and other places, so it can cause pain and different kinds of vibrations and senses in the body. So it is an indication of imbalances and blockages that have not been cleared. So this entire Kundalini business is all hogwash. Now let's understand what the chakras and the Kundalini represents. It represents awareness, it represents outlook, and it represents how the individual being evolves over one or many lifetimes, and then of course attains the state of going beyond rebirth. That is what the chakras represent. So what exactly what does each chakra represent? When we look at a person, we as yogis can tune in and see which chakras are more active. What is the meaning of which chakra is being more active? Any chakra which consumes more energy in the system is meant to be it will be more active. So why is each chakra more active? It relates to your attitude and how your outlook towards life and how you approach life. So when you have the Muladhara chakra, which is more active, it means the person is in what you call base survival mode. In other words, they have for people who whose health feels threatened, or their financial stability, whether I'll get my next meal, how will I live, this kind of threatening feeling comes, then the Muladhara is where the focus goes. So if a person is always in that zone, that person cannot be a creative thinker. That person is always in survival mode. So that kind of an outlook, being always in survival mode, is the Muladhara nature. That is, the awareness is Kundalini, or the awareness is sitting there. Kundalini is only awareness. The second level, Swadhisthana chakra in the sacral point, that is the place where the awareness is self-centered nature. By the way, each chakra has two elements, two dimensions attached to it. One is the nature, and the other is the organs that are associated with it. Like, for example, the Muladhara is associated with all the lower parts of the body as well as the bone element and all of that. That is where the Muladhara is largely impacting relative to the organ system. It is in the mental outlook is where I mentioned about the survival mode. thinking that way. In the Swadhisthana, similarly, on the organ side, it connects with the reproductive organs as well as the kidneys. Whereas from a perspective, it is a self-centered nature. So a person for whom the predominant energy is sitting only in the Swadhisthana, that person will always be thinking in any activity, what's in there for me? So when a person's thinking is what's in there for me in every activity they do, that person is a self-centered nature. So what do? In every activity, they try to control everything in their favor. And that controlling nature to bring for your personal benefit is called Vaishya Pravritti. It comes from the word Vasha, where you're trying to hold everything. In the Mooladhara, the survival mode is called Chudra nature. That is, it is the low nature Chudra. And the Swadhisthana is the place where the Vaishya are seeking for your own benefit. Now, the next one, the Manipura chakra, the navel behind that, of course, it from an organ perspective, it controls the digestive organs. Whereas on the other hand, that is also digestive organs are closely related to the energy metabolism of the body. So it also controls the energy, this thing. But from a mental outlook, when the energy is largely focused there, it is called group-centered nature. The concept of group-centered nature is you have a sense of my people versus other people. And what could that my people be? It could be your family, clan, people who speak your language, religion, or it could be if you're working for a company, our people who are in the company. But it's a group-centered thinking, ours versus others. Even in nationality, you know, this country, I'm a citizen of this country versus others who are foreigners. So the thing is, group-centered nature, you're thinking in terms of whatever you do, you're thinking how it affects the whole group and how can we do things for the benefit of a group as a whole. Okay? So the next nature, the Kundalini sitting, or the Kundalini is awareness or Kundalini sitting in the Anahata chakra, that is right in the middle of the chest, in between the breasts. There it is humanity-centered nature. The humanity-centered nature is you have no distinction between people. What will be beneficial for mankind? That kind of thinking. What will be beneficial for everybody in all of everything that you see, animals and people and all of that. So that is the humanitarian nature. And of course, from a physical perspective, organ perspective, it connects into the organs in the cardiorespiratory system, essentially the heart, the lungs, everything that is there in the chest. Now, these two, the group-centered nature and the humanitarian nature, they are called Kshatriya Pravritti. Kshatriya means domain. So when you have a limited domain, when you think of my people versus other people, that is the lower level Kshatriya. And the higher level Kshatriya is you have no difference between anyone. And that humanitarian nature, you see, there is a special kind of Kshatriya referred over there. And many of you who are familiar with Ramayana, Sri Ram used to be referred to as Chakravarti. So the higher Kshatriya is called a Chakravarti, the person who cares for everyone all around. Then in the throat, we have, actually, since I have already said that, I will actually tell you, as you have seen, Kshatriyas are of 2 levels, whereas the Brahmana nature is of 4 levels. The first level of the Brahmanic is the questioning mode. In the Vishuddhi chakra, you have curiosity to know why, what is beyond the physical world. All the questions beyond the physical world, that thinking is connecting beyond the physical world into all of Brahma. So that is seeking to know beyond the physical world is the first level of Brahmanatva. And this, of course, controls the ENT regions. And then these are the 5 major chakras, each associated with a different element. The Mooladhara with earth, Swadhisthana with water, the Manipura with fire, the Anahata with air, and the Vishuddhi with the space element. So these are the real domains through which functionality occurs in the body, as well as our, as you can think of, our worldly nature. Above the throat comes the zone of beyond the physical world. The Ajna chakra, or the middle of the head chakra, is supposed to actually be the controller of all the 5 below. So here we say is the seat of consciousness, or the program that drives everything else below for physical world functioning. And here, from a mental attitudinal perspective, this is the zone of the person who has figured out everything to satisfy themselves. It's only an assumption for themselves. It's not a realization. When a person, whether reading a good book or learning from a wise person, comes to the conclusion, this is what life is all about. In the throat, you're questioning, people are born, people are dying. What is the meaning of existence? What is life beyond? What is this thing? So when you have the answers for all of that in your mind, it's a mental answer, not a experiential answer. Then in which case, your mental awareness sits in the Ajna chakra. And when you're sitting over there, you're just the kind of person who can become a little bit of a, what will you say, a religious zealot or a bigot or whatever. This is right and everybody else is wrong or whatever. So the extremism based on their spiritual thinking that this is what life is all about is over here. When after coming over here, you feel, well, if this is what existence is all about, who cares? And that who cares is what we call as letting go. And what we say in Sanskrit, the Vairagya Bhav. When the Vairagya Bhav happens, then you come up to the top right over here in the Sahasrara Chakra. So this is the third level of Brahmanatva. Now, all these 7 chakras are along the middle of the body in what is called the Sushumna Nadi. The Sushumna Nadi is where you, as a spiritual being who has come into this body and needs to function in the physical world, all the functionalities of the physical being relative to the spiritual nature with which it has come, all the functionalities work along this Sushumna Nadi, or the central channel. And that's where the 7 chakras operate. However, the higher channel is called the Atma Nadi. And the Atma Nadi, actually, it is from the top of the head where the Sushumna Nadi meets, and it comes along the front of the body, and it comes downward, and behind the sternum is where we have our cosmic transmitter. And of course, it also goes below the sternum to the navel area, and then it takes a turn backward and does other things. That is where siddhis and things are involved, so we don't need to go there. But what happens is, when one is in the letting go stage, after a while, the person realizes life is not just about letting go, but we also have duties to do, and we should do it without attachment. This is the teaching of Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, and appropriate to refer to it on Janmashtami Day. So the thing is, you see, doing everything without attachment, that is what you're doing, your Swadharma. And the Yoga Sutra explains, when you do your Swadharma, you become purified. Your programs start dissipating. But you have to do it without any reaction and without any expectations. And this is the message, as we said, of Bhagavad Gita. But also, this is considered the fourth level of Brahmanatva, where your awareness from here starts descending down the Atmanadi and comes and rests over here. So this is the chakra system and how it has been, how we understand from a spiritual nature. And even though I use these terms, Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, and Brahmana, you begin to realize it has got to do with the nature and has nothing to do with who your parents were. There is nothing called caste in spirituality of Sanatana Dharma tradition. You are what you think, the nature of your thinking.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. How you know that I'm going to ask this question?
You put that question right over there in the chat box.
Okay, but you say like, we know everything. That's good. Okay, now the physics.
Okay, now let's go on to to Tammy Bonan's question. I have only 6 minutes to go over there. The brain is the controller of energy regulation in the body. What is energy regulation? Energy regulation is determining how much energy the body needs, as well as how it should be utilized in the body, which part of the body will get how much energy. Okay, so the brain controls the cardiorespiratory system. So your heart rate and your breathing rate. Your breathing rate tells how much oxygen comes in, and the heart rate tells you how well it is going to get distributed through the blood in all parts of the body. And then after controlling that, the brain also controls, which part of the body should should take how much of the oxygen from the blood. Okay. So now this is so far as you are not doing Bhastrika or doing your own active breathing, because the brain is taking care of the passive functionality of the body, right? Now, now on the other hand, when you start doing things, then things start changing a little bit. Now, on the other hand, the immune system, from a conventional medicine perspective, is to ward off unwanted invaders coming into the body. From a yoga and traditional medicine perspective, it is the repair mechanism of the body. Repair mechanism is a bigger pool or bigger pot than simply fighting on invaders. Okay? Because repair mechanism also deals with normal degeneration that is happening in your body that may be unrelated to viruses or bacteria. Okay? So now, from an immune system perspective, even for the immunity to function, the brain's and the allocation of the energy is involved. So how is that involved in the immune system? Well, for those of you who are physicians over here, you know that there are certain parts of the body that deal with the immune system. And perhaps the most important part within the immune system, while there are multiple places where filtering mechanisms are done, the most important one is the lymph nodes, where all the white blood cells, or a lot of the white blood cells, are sitting, and they are filtering over there any invaders over there and killing them and taking care of them. So typically what happens is, if you have a serious infection or whatever, you get inflammation mostly in the lymph nodes, right? In the area where they are. Any case. Now, the other side of it is where the energy for the lymph and the lymph to flow through the lymph channels, all of that needs energy that comes from the brain. Now, the other place where the adaptive immunity works is through deep sleep and meditation. And for that also requires energy to go towards that functionality, right? So that's the relationship. Now, the question that was allied to that Tammy had raised was, what is this kind of sympathetic and parasympathetic mode? Well, very simply put it is, when you have the attitude towards life, let things be done, then you're in parasympathetic mode. And when you have the attitude, I have to get things done, you're in sympathetic mode. So as the yogis, we have to learn to be, let things get done, that mode. And so that is the essential difference. So Tammy, anything else? Okay.
That was really good. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So any follow-up quick question on this these two subjects over here? Okay, so see you all tomorrow.
It's definitely, is that like the observer and the doer then? The sympathetic and parasympathetic?
1 second. Surina Narang unmuted, and as a result, what you said got garbled. Can you say again?
Does that
Can
does
I
that
talk?
roll over into being the observer and the doer, the sympathetic and parasympathetic? Do they like parallel with that whole project?
Absolutely.
That is, huh? Awesome. Cool. All
You
right. Thank
see,
you.
in the medical world, the way they describe it is a very slanted way. Okay, the slanted way whereby they describe it is when you're in fight or flight mode, that is sympathetic response, and they will say when you play dead, it is what is called as a parasympathetic response. However, the reality of it is a better way to put it is let things be versus, let things get done versus I have to do. That is the better way to understand, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Okay, Surina, you have a question?
Yeah, you mentioned autoimmune. So we're just wondering, how does autoimmune react to your body?
Okay. What is the meaning of autoimmune reacting to the body?
Like, what does it do when your autoimmune system is out of whack or imbalance or something?
Okay. So what happens is when somebody says a disease is an autoimmune condition, okay, then what it really means is something has gone wrong with your immune system. And that is why you're having that problem. Okay. And in reality, it is a wide category of diseases. You see, most often you would think in such cases like cancer or, when people get vitiligo and those kinds of things as autoimmune condition. But in fact, the autoimmune condition is of a much broader category where, in my view, this insulin resistance and, asthma and various other allergic conditions, these are all poor immune response conditions. So, so effectively, when the immune system does not react well, that's when you have that condition. So what is your question?
The question is like, what does it do when it is? Do you get inflammation in your body?
Absolutely.
Or is there a way to control it?
But the way to control is correct your immune system.
Yeah, is there a yoga or anything like that that can be done to do it?
Of course. That is what, but there is not one pat answer for it. Okay. I will give you an example. Okay. One of the people who used to come over here, you used to have a condition where the person's stool every day used to be like water.
Yeah, you told us that. Yeah.
I told you. So what happened was for that person, when the person came, we worked with that person and slowly it took care of itself and, it became okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these kinds of things require specific things, but there are two things required. One is, like I'll give you this example. We do this mantra, Haim Im right? The Haim Im is to empower the immune system to correct any disorder in the respiratory channel. And that is why people who get COVID, when they do Haim Im, they come out of it without having side effects of the COVID. And for people who get the post-COVID syndrome, if they do the Haim Im, they come out of it, they become energetic. So it is going to be different for each one. So you're asking me a question, is there a magic pill? Sorry, no. One pill is not good enough.
Yeah,
okay.
But no mantras as such for the basic. Because what happened is they're telling me I have autoimmune of some kind because I'm having a lot of dermatitis on my skin.
But this is something which we have to discuss separately.
Okay.
Okay, see you.